Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you doing? I got some goodies in the mail the other day, and I finally got some of the Core Tackle TUSH, which is the ultimate swim bait hook. And I got 3 sizes. Now this is the big size. It's a 7/0 hook and a 3/4 ounce bait. So this is for your, hook I should say. This is for your big swim baits, your 6, 7, and I tried to put it on a 6-inch swim bait. I had a little trouble rigging it, so I'm going to try it with a bigger one and see if I can work better with that big hook. But definitely want to try this out on some of those big swim baits. The one I have rigged up is this 3/8 ounce, and I just rigged it up on a Kitech. This is a 4.8 Kitech Sexy Shad, and I just rigged it up just to practice a little. It's a little crooked. I don't get it quite in that slot where I want it in the middle, but I'm going to see how it runs. If I find it drifts to one side, I'll redo it. But I'll show you how I rig these up. But that's that 3/4 ounce, or I'm sorry, 3/8 ounce 4/0 hook. And that's just a 4.8 Kitech Sexy Shad color. And the other one I got is the 3/16 2/0 hook, which I'll try rigging up on one of these smaller Kitechs in a minute. I did grab a couple more of the hover rig from Core Tackle. I got a couple more of those, so I figured what the heck when I was ordering, because when you order, you're going to wait a few weeks because it's very popular. A lot of guys are ordering, so when you order, be patient. Might take 3-4 weeks, all depending on how quick they can pump the new ones out. But like I said, here is that Kitech. So the difference here is you're not going to have that big ball head on the front of your swim bait. The weight is internal, and just from watching some videos, and I haven't had these out obviously on the water yet since they just came yesterday, it's going to have a nice wobble to it, along with that kicking tail, and the fact that you have an internal weight makes these a lot easier to skip. So once I get it out on the water, hopefully I can get some footage of me skipping these around, which hopefully will be this week, as today is Sunday, and it's pouring again up here by me in New Hampshire, so wherever you are in the Northeast, you're probably getting poured on again too. But I just want to kind of mess around here with a few, riggings, just to show you how they work. Now, for you guys who haven't seen, don't even know what I'm talking about when I say the hover rig, I just grabbed a couple max scent baits out, because these really work well with the hover rig. And you can check my other video on the hover rig. And I've done very well, throwing the hover rig around. So this is just a hitworm, 4.5-inch watermelon candy max scent hitworm. Figured I'd show you the hover rig quick before I go on to showing you the tush. And I'll just grab the small 1/0 3/64 ounce hover rig and just show you a quick rigging for you guys who have no idea what I'm talking about. But when you take it out of the pack, of course the keeper is stuck on the inside of the pack. I'll get it out. So here's your Core Tackle hover rig right here. And I believe that's a 1/0 hook. Yeah, 1/0 hook, 3/64. And here's your weight. That's that molded weight, and that's going to be internal on your bait. You got a little keeper. There's your line tie. So any soft plastic will do. I find that these max scents, because they're very soft, work very well. But you can use anything you want. So I just kind of bend that keeper up out of the way. Some guys just chop them off. I like to leave them on. And I'll just go down, not right in the tip of the bait, but I'll go down a little bit. And I'm just going to start threading that through how I want it. So hopefully you're getting a good view here of how this goes. And I'll go just about to there. And I'm going to cinch it through. And then what you're going to do is just move your bait down along the core of the Core Tackle. Then when you get it down here towards the end, just kind of pop your end up over that. And you'll get the hang of it after a couple times. Just pull it up and over. And now you've got your weight inside your bait. Bend that keeper back down. And it's ready to fish. You can skip that all around, throw it wherever you want. It has a nice glide action. I've noticed it with throwing on the flatworm. But there you go. So that's just the hover rig, just a Just a quick reminder if you guys may have not seen it, and on a different bait, because I didn't show it on this kind of a bait, but that's just on that hitworm. I just like the material of the max scent because it makes it easy, but the more you do with other material, you get the hang of it. You'll get the hang of it. Now, as far as the tush goes, just to show you again, here's how I put that on that 4-point-inch Kitech. So I'll do a 4-point-inch Kitech. Let's see, let's use this rainbow shad one. This one's already open. And here's your, 4.8-inch Kitech rainbow shad. So here's your Kitech. Let me get that core tackle. That's that 4/0 3/8 ounce bait. And here's what it looks like when you take it out of the pack. Here's your weight, your core of the bait, of the hook, your 3/0 hook, and there's your line tie. And I'll show you this pack. I'm sorry, 4/0 hook. There's the pack again. I'll show it to you up close. Hope that comes out clearly. You guys can read that. And it's core tackle. I'll show you the back. CoreTackle.com. Johnny Schultz and Matt Steffen have a ton of videos on how to rig stuff up. But for somebody like me, it's a lot of trial and error. What baits work the best? And so far, the Kitech is pretty easy to get on there. So what I'm going to do, I can kind of gauge where this is going to be. So I know about how far down I go. Now that last time, I did get it a little crooked into that slot in the Kitech. So this time I'm going to try to do a better job of keeping it straight. But when I do these, I always kind of try to go where the colors split when I put anything internally on a Kitech, or any swim bait for that matter. I just kind of try to stay in the meat of the bait, in that middle of the two colors. Now I just want to make sure, let's make sure I come out straight here. Hope you guys can see this. And I'm just going to that channel that's on top of the Kitech. All right, it looks like I got it pretty good in the middle. And then once I get it there, I'm just going to pop it through and then slowly work it down. I probably could have gone down even a little further. I'll get it to the point, straighten it out a little, and then I'm going to cover up that last little, that segment there. That's where it gets a little tough, but like I said, the more you do this, the better at it you get. Oops. You drop it a few times. That's actually not too bad. Kind of cinch it down there, and there you go. Now you're ready to throw your 4.8 Kitech on a 4/0 hook, all internal. You can skip these under trees, wherever. There you go. It's the second one I've done in my life, and I'm getting a little better at a time. I still have it a little bit to the one side, but I don't think it's going to really make that much of a difference. It's still in the middle. I mean, it could maybe be a little further over into the middle, but I think it's pretty good. And you just kind of keep working the bait till you get it to where you want it. So there you go. That's with the 4.8 Kitech. Now another way that I've seen Johnny Schultz was talking about was using it on the Spunk Shad, the 5.5-inch, and kind of fishing for those suspended fish. So there's your, I love this Spunk Shad color. What is that? Sunfish? That sunfish color is absolutely beautiful. I almost hate to throw it. But I'm going to use, I'm going to save this 2/0 one for smaller swim baits. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to go to that, I think just kind of messing around with these, that 3/8 ounce 4/0 size is going to be the one I use the most. So it's that same size I just did with the Kitech, now with the Spunk Shad. And so I'm just going to line it up the same way. I may go back a little further into the bait than I just did on the Kitech. Now let's see. Now this is not quite as soft as the Kitech. So let's see if it's harder, easier, if I totally screw it up. Let's see. But I'm going to push this down a little further than I did on the Kitech. Actually, to me, it seems like it might be going actually a little easier than through the Kitech. I'm just kind of eyeballing that center slot where I want to come out. Just move your bait down, and it does get And you could always even take a little, which I do sometimes when I'm doing rigging baits like this, I might take a little scent and put it on there because it just makes it slide a little better. Hands might get a little slimy, but who cares? A little garlic scent won't kill you. And just kind of, looks pretty good right there. Just want to get that end down, cover up that last little piece of the core of the. So now I have a Spunk Shad, a 5.5 inch, 5.5 Spunk Shad that I can throw out there, pop it along the bottom, get it down to a certain depth to those suspended fish. Another way to present a bait that doesn't have like a big bulky head on there, which to me always looks kind of weird. No big bulky lead on the front there. So that's the first time I've rigged one of these. So I'm sure I will get better at it as I do it more. But there you go, guys. That's the Core Tackle Tush. That's on a Spunk Shad. That sunfish is such a cool color. I think I've shown you that in the other video. That Sunfish 5.5. Throw that for suspended bass. Drag it along the bottom. Pop it along the bottom. Lots of different ways you can fish these. Or if you want to just throw a swim bait around, here's another way you can do it without that big, lead head in front of it. Try and keep that nice and straight. This one I think is a little better rigged than the other one. The first one I did might be a little crooked, but I don't see it affecting the movement too much. So I've got two Kitech 4/8s ready to go, and I've got a Spunk Shad ready to go. Well, I guess I need some more of this size. But that's it, guys. So as I said, there's the three sizes of the Core Tackle Tush, and Tush stands for the Ultimate Swim Bait Hook. The 7/0 3/4 ounce. So this is for your big swim baits. I've got to mess with some of my bigger swim baits and rig a few and see how I like it. I tried to do it with one 6-inch one, and to me it wasn't coming through right. So I didn't want to show you that, me kind of messing it up, or maybe that's just not the perfect bait for it. I got to find some big swim baits that I like this for, and I'll show you how to rig them. The 4/0 3/8 ounce size, which to me seems like the perfect size, that's right in the middle for everything. Comes in a 3-pack, and I've got all three, already rigged up here. And then the smaller size, that 2/0 3/16 ounce, I'll use on my smaller swim baits. It'll be the same idea as this, just on the smaller swim baits, the Kitechs or whatever ones I'm throwing. So same idea, you guys get it. And then I did one hover rig setup, just to kind of remind you of the hover rig. Real easy to do. Once you do it a couple times, you'll realize you can just do it with any bait. Everybody will have their own way of kind of getting that bait on there the right way. But it's simple. If I can do it, anybody can do it. But that's another nice setup there of something I can throw. And anything you can use, that small. Actually, you know what? Before I end the video, what the heck? Here's the 3.3 Kitech. What is that? Black blue with deep blue. So nice color. You got your black and blue flake. You got your deep blue bottom. Let's try it with that small one, since I haven't done it yet. What the heck? Let's see. Let's do it with that. This might be, just looking at the hook, it might be a little big for it. Let's see. Is that too big for that little? Would it be better for a 3/8? I don't know. I think it'll work. Let's try it. That's a 3.3. Let's see if it fits on a 3.3 pretty well. If not, maybe a 3.8 would be better. Go through the top. In the middle of your bait till you get to where you want to get ready to punch it out of the middle. I'm always trying to get it to the side a little more. There we go. I think that's going to fit all right. Actually looks pretty darn good. And I actually did it straighter. Maybe the smaller ones are easier. So there's your 3.3 Kitech. And that's on the TUSH 2/0 3/16 ounce So you can just imagine, I would throw this on a spinning rod, how easy it would be to just cast this, skip it around under trees, under docks, through pontoons, if you're a good skipper. But, I mean, that fits perfect on a 3.3, so I'm sure a 3.8 is fine. Now, you might be pushing it with the 2.8. I would say probably 3.3 is the smallest you might want to go here, but you could try it. You could try it. But that really looks nice. That's a great setup right there. That's the one I actually rigged the best. I guess now that I've done 3, I'm getting better at rigging. But there you go. So that's with the core tackle 3/16 ounce. So now I've got 4 set up and ready to go. So just to remind you guys, I'll start over again since I stopped. The 7/0 3/4 ounce, that's for your big swim baits. When I find a swim bait that I like for that, I'll show you how I rig it up. I already showed you 3 on the 4/0 3/8 ounce. And the small size, as I knock the Kitex on the floor, the 2/0 3/16, which I just put on here on that 3.3 Kitech, and it fit fine. Easy to rig up. Fit great. It looks awesome. And then the 2 hover rigs. If you guys are interested in the more hover rig information, actually even on the back here, they have some steps on how to rig. And you can check out my other video on it, and or just refer to Johnny Schultz, the Fish of the Moment, and Matt Stefan. They've done a ton on the core tackle rigging stuff too. And these are the guys who made the bait, or made the hook, so they're the experts on it. But I've really done well, throwing this around so far. So I'm sure that I'll do well throwing the swim baits here. So that's it, guys, or the Spunk Shad. I'm looking forward to trying this for those suspended bass, especially this time of year. Those post-spawn bass that are kind of just hanging around out there in a little deeper water. Working this around. I want to see what the action is like. This is in the water on this Spunk Shad. But these definitely should be good baits to throw these Kitex on. And since you're probably, swim baits are usually, swimming around. You're not really getting into like dangerous areas, really. I don't anticipate losing a lot of these. But, like I said, if you do order them up, be patient. It'll take a few weeks because, it's a smaller company that's just getting going. So they've got to pour all these and then send them out. So I think I waited about 4 weeks for the TUSHs. If I ordered just the hover rigs, I might have got those quicker, but I was waiting for the TUSH, and that was new. And I know that sold out at Tackle Warehouse really fast. So any questions on the hover rig, the core tackle hover rig, or the TUSH, let me know. I'll answer the best I can. As I said, I just got these. I haven't even thrown them yet. This week, I definitely will, if I'm on the water, I've got 4 of them rigged up, so I might as well throw them. Hopefully it won't be pouring all week this week, because we've had a lot of flooding up my way, and the lakes are full, the rivers are full. I was going to go to the Connecticut River the other day. I was thinking about it, and I drove by, and the water is like chocolate milk, so I don't know how the fishing is there right now. Maybe by midweek it'll calm down a minute, or I could just hit one of the local lakes, because a couple of local lakes by me, this will probably do pretty good this time of year on some of those suspended smallies. But that's it. If you guys have used the TUSH on any baits and you recommend some, if you guys recommend, you guys who have tried it, maybe this big one, let me know what you've used it on. As I said, my 1/6 inch swim bait, I didn't think it really rigged. I might have just not had it lined up right, but to me it seemed like it was tearing the bait too much for me, and I think that plastic was a little too tough for it. I think I got to find a little softer plastic. Maybe a big, I don't know what the biggest Kitech they make is. I know they make a 5/8. Did they make anything bigger? I'm not sure. I don't have it if they do, but maybe I'll stop in at Dick's this week and see if they have any big Kitechs, and I'll try that on this big one and see how it fits, because that plastic is nice and soft. Seems to work well for those. But like I said, guys, any questions, let me know. I appreciate you watching the video, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. I appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.